Following the UFC fight between Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis, Dana White defends Sean Strickland after, quote, homophobic rant. Free speech, brother. Well, of course, I was rooting for Sean Strickland. I made a wager on this man to win, and he did not win. Although I think in our hearts, he did. A lot of people are saying that he got robbed. But it was a really close fight. I do want to talk a little bit about it. I am not a big UFC guy. I am a layman who watched the fight, and I got some things to say. I think that Sean Strickland should have won. Ooh, controversy for you big UFC fans. But the news that I'm here to cover, because that's more my forte, is the politics of it. Following his defeat, many people are saying the reason why the judges didn't want Strickland to win, they had a bias against him, it's because of the things he said publicly about politics. Dana White, of course, was asked about this following the fight. They said, Sean Strickland's saying all this bad stuff. Dana White says, hey, you can say whatever you want. The controversy here is that a reporter says, you give your fighters a long leash to say these things. And he goes, I don't put anybody on a leash. There's no leash. They can do whatever they want. Of course, the reporter's trying to make a point saying there is a limit. Like implying there is a leash or a long leash is to imply that Dana White actually has a point at which you would tell someone you've gone too far. Dana White says, no, there isn't. They can say whatever they want. This is where things get interesting. The question is, was this a robbery? Should Sean Strickland have won? In my personal opinion, yes, and I'll explain why, but this is totally outside of the world of UFC. So it's not going to be any legitimate scoring or competition argument. I'm just going to give you my personal thoughts as someone who doesn't watch. And I think if you're a big UFC fan, you should hear what I have to say in that I have no idea what's going on. And this is how it looks to me. That being said, understand this is how it may look to a lot of people who are trying to watch UFC and trying to understand this and get into it. And then I totally 100% respect that if you think Dricus won based on scoring and the judges were right, totally fair point. I don't know. I'll just tell you how I felt about it. But anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought. My point here is this, the other point I was going to make is this actually about politics? Because this is what some people are saying. Sean Strickland is controversial. He jumps up and starts punching a guy. I think he was punching du Plessis I can't remember exactly when he tells the kid to move out of the way. And they're saying this guy causes a lot of trouble. He makes video. He's mocking Bud Light. And there it is. This is the question. Bud Light puts down, $100 million on UFC. Sean Strickland comes out and says, I'm going to fix you. I'm the champ. And then, in a controversial decision, loses. Now, I can only tell you what I see as somebody who's into politics, sees that, and then hears that from fans. People are saying Strickland got robbed. Other people are saying, no, he didn't. Shut up. What does robbery even mean? Oh, boy. Let's break it down. We'll get started here with the pink news, and we'll talk to you about what Dana White said in response to this fight. Ultimate Fighting Championship CEO, President Dana White, has defended Strickland and his right to free speech after the fighter faced backlash for his, quote, homophobic and transphobic comments. Let me just play the clip for you so you can hear it yourself, because I think bravo to Dana White for smacking down these reporters, for roasting them.
About, like, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about...
All right, this is too super quiet. What are we going to do? I don't know if there's a better way to boost the audio. Like, hey, normally I get the audio. It's not working too well. This time, it's actually just... This is how it always is on... Oh, look at that. Elon Musk says he's right. Let me see if I can pull up a better clip here, because the audio on this is not normalized. And I just want to give a shout out to our friends at Twitter. For whatever reason, people go on Twitter, they don't normalize the audio properly, so you can't hear it. But I don't know if we actually... You know what? I'll just read the quote. I think we have the quote here, and I'll read it. While White made it clear that he neither condoned nor denounced Strickland's comments, he told the press he has no interest in policing fighters' beliefs. Quote, I don't effing tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want. They can believe whatever they want. And so, I think the reporter didn't intentionally mean, he didn't think about this. He wasn't meaning to say quite literally that there's restrictions, but the implication is absolutely there. He's like, you give your fighters a long leash to say what they want, as if to imply, as I stated, there is a point at which Dana White's going to be like, you can't be saying those things on stage or at the press conferences, whatever. Now, here's what I find interesting. There are many people who are claiming that this is actually about politics. Let me see what we got here. This is you just look at some of the tweets because UFC 297 is trending. And we got this guy, Slav Trap God, follows me. Good name, sir. This is why the judges robbed Sean Strickland. I pulled up just this one tweet, but there are many other tweets. He is wearing a shirt that says a woman in every kitchen, a gun in every hand. He also wore a shirt that said, make Canada great again, and defended the people and called out Trudeau to massive fanfare. During the fight, check this out. Canada, get your ish together. Joe Rogan revels in UFC crowd chanting F Trudeau. So this guy's causing trouble. Here's what I don't trust. I watched that fight, and all I saw was Sean Strickland winning. I'm not saying Drickus didn't do really, really well. I mean, that dude was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Strickland won. Let me explain. Let me see. Let me read what Dana White said. Because after I watched the fight, and then at the end, when they're like, it's 48-47, 47-48, and the final scoring is Drickus du Plessis, I was like, whoa, what? Even Sean Strickland said, I felt like I won that fight, but maybe I'm just being a pussy. And then he walks off. Good. He took it in stride. Mad respect. Dude, Sean Strickland is a great role model. He's a good dude. I have tremendous respect for how he handled it. He stated, I thought I won, but, maybe I'm just being a pussy. I'm like, that's one way to put it. And then he walks off. He's not whinging about it. I respect that. But I think he won. Dana White, this is from MMAfighting.com. Dana White reveals he had Sean Strickland winning at UFC 297, but doesn't plan immediate rematch. Dana White said after watching that, he would have, if he was judging, he said Strickland won. I find that fascinating. Is he playing politics here because this is a controversial decision? What I find fascinating is, again, as somebody who's not like a diehard UFC guy, I've watched a handful of fights in my day, mostly following this because of many of these MMA fighters are based AF and are calling out the corruption in various governments. Strickland calling out Trudeau. Colby Covington defending Donald Trump. These are guys who are not scared to call out the corruption, and I respect it. And so I want to see them fight. When I watch this fight, and then I hear that Dana White says that he won too, I'm like, that's what I saw. Dana White maybe is saying this because it is controversial, and he's like, well, if at least I come out and defend him, then it will keep fans like, yeah, you go, Dana White, you're right, he did win. Those judges were wrong. If Dana White came out and said, nah, here's what I was thinking. Don't look at me. But they love to say the undisputed champion of the world. Yo, I got to tell you right now, Drickus, amazing fighter, tremendous job, great fight, tremendous skill. Disputed champion. No question. It was a split decision. 2 judges for du Plessis, 1 judge for Strickland, and I say it's disputed. The fact that you can go online and see all these videos and articles where people are debating whether or not Strickland won or lost, I say du Plessis is the disputed champion of the world. What is it, welterweight? Here's MMA fighting. Sean Strickland lost a split decision in his battle with Drickus du Plessis at UFC 297 main event, but UFC CEO Dana White believes he deserved to get the win. Quote, we were just looking at how the media had scored it and right down the middle, White said at UFC 297 post-fight press conference. I had it 2-2 going into the last round, and I thought that Strickland won the last round. Guys who were sitting at the same table had it the other way. It was a close fight. Strickland started the fight strong with a lead jab that poured a lot of punishment, but du Plessis weathered the storm and then delivered damage of his own during the bloody back and forth battle. White praised Strickland's performance, particularly regarding his best weapon on the feet, which also played a massive part in winning his title last September. Quote, I thought Strickland looked great in the first 2 rounds, White said. That jab was effing beautiful. You don't see jabs like that in MMA. That jab did what it was supposed to do. Both of du Plessis' eyes were swelling shut. He was slowed down the 3rd and 4th, and du Plessis kept coming forward and started mixing up takedowns and punches. Ultimately, White felt the fight really came down to the final 5 minutes, and all 3 judges actually agreed that Strickland won that round. He says, I had it even going into the 5th round, and this is the round to see who wants it, White said. They both started to turn it up a little bit. It's just one of those tight fights. But I'm also one of these guys. I believe you've got to take it from the champion. I completely agree with that. Look, this is how I felt before I even heard Dana White say it. You are talking for of the champ, okay? Strickland is the champ. You want to take that title, you prove you took that title. A split decision? Man, I mean, look, there's money, there's endorsements, you accept the judges accept. If the judges called it for Strickland, everybody would be saying that he won. But now that it's called for Duplessis, man, I'm not a fan. He says, despite his feelings on the decision, or he said it's just one of those tight fights. Despite his feelings on the decision, White didn't cry robbery or feel like Duplessis didn't deserve to celebrate his victory in becoming the new UFC middleweight champion. It's also safe to say Duplessis disagreed with White's assessment after learning the UFC CEO scored the fight for Strickland. Just for the record, are there some people that think I lost the fight? Duplessis said at the post-press conference. Dana said I lost the fight. Well, BS. You did. Oh, dude, I think Duplessis was amazing. Bro, I think you fought amazing. Some of those body shots, the punch to the face, I mean, you ripped blood straight from the head of Strickland. It was pouring out. Brutal. I don't think it was enough. Let me tell you what I think, okay? I'm a layman. I don't know much about how scoring works. I tell you, I watched that fight, and at the end of it, I'm just like, if I saw these two dudes in the street fighting, Strickland won. That's all I really have to say. Why? I'll tell you why. People are saying, well, it's not based on total strikes. It's based on, rounds and who won each round. And I'm like, yep. And all that stuff means little to me, but I accept it. And I'll say this. Let me see. We have the scorecard pulled up right here. This is, let me see if I can zoom in, get a better image for you guys. Here's the UFC scorecard. And everybody gives round 1 to Sean Strickland. No question. I was actually super excited and impressed. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, I know I put a bet on Strickland. I like the guy. I wanted him to win, and I lost that bet. It's fine. It is what it is. I only did a little bitty bet, okay? I did a little bitty bet. I didn't do anything big or substantial. I wanted to, but I actually wasn't able to, so I didn't. I lost a couple $100. And for all the people who are like, Tim goes to the casino too much, dude, I don't play that much money. A couple $100 here and there. Calm down. More than, the average person probably because I can afford to, but you play I put a couple $100 down on Sean Strickland to win. And that's about it. We played a couple $100 last night. I ended up winning like $1,000. Calm down. But anyway, I digress. Have fun at the casinos. You don't go there to win money. You go there to be entertained and get free drinks. But so here we go. Take a look at this. Strickland wins the first one. Everybody agrees Duplessis took the second round. I didn't even think that. I didn't. To be fair, though, when I'm watching on pay-per-view, the camera angles don't do justice to Duplessis fighting. And I totally respect that because I made sure to watch some of the replays and I'm like, wow, Duplessis, real great. Round 3, I thought absolutely went to Strickland. And I guess that's where I'm with this other judge, Saul D'Amato. Maybe he's just, biased for Strickland or whatever. Round 4, toss-up. I had no idea. But I got to tell you, the first few rounds, what I saw was Sean Strickland clearly dominating. But I agree, I didn't feel like it felt like he was carved out of stone. But it didn't feel like he was punishing, like he was beating him down. The first one, no question, those jabs, wow. To see Duplessis come out with his face swollen. Final round, no question, went to Strickland. And they all agreed round 5 went to Strickland. I thought so. I could not believe they gave Duplessis the fight. Because take a look at this. According to these first 2 judge cards, it did not matter. That's insane. According to these 2 judges, Derek Cleary and Eric Colin, going in as soon as round 4 ended, Duplessis already won. No matter what Strickland did, it was over. Suppose you could have a finisher, but I could not believe that. So here's what I think. I can respect and accept that Strickland didn't go hard enough. People were saying, and I'm not a big UFC guy. I was just reading these articles, and they said that Duplessis is a finisher. He doesn't go long. It was the first time he ever went into the 4th round, I guess. He finishes these fights. He takes them down. Power. Okay. He was saying things like, I don't need a judge to tell me I won. I'm going to end this fight. I think, and I read other people say the same thing, because again, I'm just some layman, that Strickland was going for wear this guy down. He's not a 5th round fighter. Wear him down. And then in round 5, take the decisive victory. I think that strategy didn't work out. I don't see how Strickland lost this one. You know, my view is, I suppose, me as a layman watching a fight, no question Strickland won. Oh, I get it. He's covered in blood. And people are posting this picture where he's bleeding, and they're like, close fight. Are you kidding? Look at his face. I'm like, dude, bleeding doesn't mean you lost a fight. Swelling eyes shut doesn't mean you lost a fight. What I see here is you go 6, 7, 8 rounds, you keep the fight up. If this was fight until it's over, Strickland wins. No question. No question. That's why it's just like, dude, that's so stupid. I can't with this stuff, man. I understand there's got to be judging criteria, but how about this? How about you put 2 guys in a ring, you don't do rounds, you say fight. I don't like any of this stuff. Because when it gets to the technical, we have to score how much damage was received in body shots and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, get out of here, dude. If 2 guys fight and then eventually they're just too tired and standing there, you call it a draw. This is just me. I'm not interested in the technicality stuff. That's just me. What I want to see is 2 guys trained to fight. I want to see them fight. I want to see somebody win. I want to see somebody win. I know not every fight could go down with a finisher. There were a few takedowns du Plessis had. I respect those. They were good. Sean got pulled down. I think he pulled out of him very well. If I'm watching this fight in the street, Strickland wins. And then they come out and they're like, well, technically because they're round-based and there's a scoring mechanism, we have to make sure that when we're judging the certain hits and the damage given. And then I'm like, that's so stupid. Sorry, guys. I'm not a fan of this stuff. I don't care to watch it. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. You guys do your thing. You watch what you watch. That's totally fine. No beef. No beef. I'm saying for me personally, I think this is stupid. I was reading about what it means to be robbed in a fight. And Strickland got robbed. A lot of people are saying, it's not a robbery, calm down, it was a close fight. That's what robbery is. Robbery is when the guy you think should have won does not win. Typically, the fair assessment is a split decision. I get it. There have been fights I was reading about where one guy clearly won the fight, brutally beating the other guy, but the other guy wins on points through technicalities, and everyone's like, that's a robbery. I'm like, okay, I agree. A lot of people say it's a robbery when there's one fight where the whole crowd is booing as one guy is giving his post-fight interview. And it's like, clearly that's a robbery. But what I mean is, yo, what's the other circumstance in which you'd call a fight a robbery? Okay? If it was clear that Strickland lost and it was definitive in the judges' scorecards, you wouldn't call it a robbery. You'd be like, wow, that guy got beat. If it was the other way around, you'd say, wow, it got beat. In fact, if Strickland won this by 1 point in the other direction, people would say du Plessis got robbed. Yeah, because it was a close fight and you think a judge didn't score it properly in one area, making the winner lose. What else would you describe as a robbery? And I think the issue is the implication that robbery is that it was an intentional taking of it. Sure. I got to be honest, guys. I think there is a strong possibility they didn't want the guy who roasted Bud Light to win. You got to talk politics, man. Think about it this way. I'm not saying Dana White did anything. I don't know. But come on. You'd think when people are playing these big buck games, they want to leave things to chance. Let's talk about this. Let me pull this up. Let me see if I can find this story. Let's see. There's a story right now. Here we go. Let me pull this one up. Breaking news, NFL fans convinced TV station has leaked Super Bowl teams after spotting script in live broadcast. So this television station in Canada accidentally posted this or put this on TV. Reba McEntire, Usher, Post Malone are slated to perform at San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl matchup on February 11th. Guys, let me see if I can find this one. NBA game fixing. Hey, this really happened. NBA betting scandal. The NBA, an accusations that an NBA referee used his knowledge of relationships between referees, coaches, and players to bet on professional basketball teams. Okay, yeah, the FBI and Republic. I don't know if this is actually the one. Okay. Right. This might be the scandal that a ref was basically like betting on the games. Anyway, there have been accusations for a long time. that these major league sporting events know exactly who's advancing because judges, referees can always just decide who's going to win. Now, if Strickland came out like a shotgun blast and took this guy down, well, that's too bad. But you can always control a certain degree. And when you got a close fight like this, ultimately the judges can be like, well, we knew before going in, if it was a close fight, we were giving it to Duplessis no matter what. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying, dude, I don't trust people. So let me tell you a story. We're hanging out at in Iowa, and we're at the casino playing what's called DJ Wild. Table game. Again, my friends, calm down. These people like to claim that because you play a couple $100 on the weekend that you're doing something wrong. Now, enjoy yourselves and find your entertainment. Would you prefer I spent the money at Taylor Swift? Right. No, I'm going to hang out with my friends. We're going to have some drinks and we're going to play money. And then if you end up winning, you don't lose anything. You only play what you can afford to lose and you only play for fun. Don't go to casinos to win money. But these machines they use at casinos, here's how it works. They can be pre-programmed to play a game. So there's many different games in table games at casinos. Many of you are probably familiar with. Some of you may not be. Some games require that you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or even 7 cards. The dealers don't deal the cards out to you in most instances. What they do is they have a shuffle machine. They put the cards in. The machine shuffles the deck for you. They press a button, and the first hand comes out they give to you. Then, as soon as that comes out, it automatically dispenses the next hand. They give each player at the table a set of cards. Let's say you're playing DJ Wild. Everybody gets 5 cards. Once the dealer has handed out all of the cards to available players, let's say there's 3 players, he deals out 3 sets. He presses a green button on the machine, triggering the machine to feed the remaining cards into the dispenser, which he then picks up and puts aside. I was explaining. So the way the game works is every player gets a hand and the dealer gets a hand. You're trying to beat the dealer's poker hand. I explained that the moment the dealer does this, he has told the machine how many players there are. The machine then knows which hand to give the dealer. The shuffle machine can control the actual hands that are dispensed. It can actually preset the deck. One of the supervisors walks over and says, how does it know? It doesn't know how many people are playing. I was like, yes, it does. He pulled out 4 sets of cards and pressed a button. As soon as he pressed the button, the machine knew 4 hands had been dealt. The last hand dealt goes to the dealer. And he went, oh yeah, right. I would not be surprised if these machines are all rigged. The way slot machines work, they're allowed to, they have to make money off them. So your guaranteed payout is like 92% or 90%. That means for every $100 you put in, you will win 90. You're losing money. It's part of casino gambling strategy. And everybody's got a system. But my point is this. What makes you think the judges are going to be fair ever? It's wild to think. There's this guy who made a video about how casinos cheat. And they do. Not every casino. Most of them probably don't. They have the edge. They don't need to. But some will. In these auto shufflers, you can watch these videos where they have this big, it looks like a snail almost, this big shuffle machine, because it's a circle that spins the cards, continuous shufflers. And there will be one card sitting in the front that the dealer will slide out in, say, a blackjack game. Let's say you're playing continuous shuffle blackjack. That means the deck is always being shuffled. Every card that goes in, it shuffles automatically. The dealer, you can see a card and the dealer will grab it and he'll slide it out and then flip it over. You can watch videos how the machine can pull the top card back and put in any card of their choosing. So it looks like he's pulling that card out. He's not. They will do this. Not always, but people are criminals. The world is not free from this stuff. Long story short, my friends, I think there is a possibility. I think it's slim that they're just thinking Sean Strickland ragging on Bud Light as the champion threatens our money. So I'll tell you this right now. UFC taking Bud Light sponsorship. I said, okay, let's have Sean Strickland come and speak out. And he did. And then he loses in this way. Now I'm unhappy. I'll just wrap up with this. Whatever, man. You know, I think Duplessis is one of the best. I watched that fight. I thought it was awesome. There's some guy roasted him, some MMA fighter saying they were both fighting like amateurs. Get out of here, man. These guys are good fighters. Duplessis did an amazing job. And, while I can certainly say I think Strickland won, I feel like if it came down to the judges, I can understand du Plessis winning. I seriously do. People are like, it was a close fight. I'm like, totally agree with that. I just felt like Strickland dominated. You run this thing out to the end, Strickland owns that fight. He waited too long. I don't know if he realized that, they weren't going to give him round 3. I think he was thinking like, I can swing. He's like, I take a couple of them, and then in round 5, I powerhouse. And it was amazing. Just those right hooks. Bam, bam, bam. And then he loses. That means, man, he needed a takedown in the final round. I just can't stand it, man. I just don't like technicality. It's just so stupid. Whatever. I'll leave it there. Whatever. Congratulations, though, to du Plessis. I think he's a good dude. I think he fought really well. I just wanted to see Strickland win, and I felt like he controlled it. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.